Hello, everybody. It is Sunday, the 26th of October. I haven't made a video this week because I was down with a rotten cold. I'm still not quite over it. Bad dose, that one. Um, but I just took the opportunity to, I thought I'd think about something else. So I bought the new Dan Brown. That didn't work. Since it is about consciousness. So that didn't work, so I'm back. Might as well make another video. There's no getting away from it. Yeah, Dan Brown is about consciousness, about the other layers, the other functions of ourselves, outside of the five senses, which we do exist outside of the five senses all the time. And we really must become aware of that, of what it is we are actually doing and of what it is we are in. So I was, again, the Inspired channel and others as well, talking about the minimal amount of light that we can register through the five senses. So the restriction of what is actually there all around us that we cannot see, which then would lead again many to talk about this prison that we're in. Yeah, we're imprisoned in the five senses. And that we must break out. This has got to be a massive prison break. Yeah, we all must expand awareness and break out of this five sense prison. Well, for starters, we're not just in our five senses. We never are. We never are. We pick up so many things in our environment that are not coming from the five senses. Again, there's an awareness that we should have of what it is we are doing, because that is a knowledge of ourselves. And for many, we don't have that awareness, and we weren't taught to even look at that. At the moment, we're all taught to look at that, or many are taught to look at that in a big way. So the restriction of all there is and ever will be that is around us, apparently, in the field, is actually focusing on what matters. Really, you should focus on what matters, in which case you have to block out everything there ever was and ever will be, to focus on what is right in front of you. That's life. Life is a restriction to one experience, but then you're having that experience. Like if you are at a party, yeah, in a crowded room, and you're having a conversation with a few people or a group of people, you block out everything else that is around you. And that is to a purpose. Because if you could hear everything, you would not hear the people that you are having the conversation with. So there needs to be a blocking out of all that there is in that room. I mean, in fact, a lot of autistic people actually have exactly that problem. They can't block it out. And then they suffer information overload, sensory overload. So the restriction is something that we can do, and it serves a purpose. And in that conversation, we're still in this room, the conversation with others. I mean, yes, you're going by the visual. You know what they look like. You know, you're going by how they dress. But you're taking in so much more. Like if in a conversation you suddenly get a feeling, we feel something about these people. Especially if there's a feeling that there's something off. There's something not quite right. What the person is portraying is false. We can sense that. We do sense that. And we act on the information that we should act on the information that we receive through those other senses. So if you are in a conversation with another person and you feel there is something off, there's something not quite right, what do you do? Do you love him? Forgive him? Don't judge, just open yourself up. Tell the person, you have a feeling there's something off, so you should open yourself up, tell him everything, give him your bank details while you're at it. Is that what you do? Is that what we do? Not unless we're totally stupid. Some people are. They're just not terribly intelligent. But most of us wouldn't. We would be on our guard. We would cover ourselves up to protect ourselves. Yeah? We would disconnect from that person a little bit and be on our guard about what it is we're saying, what information of ourselves we're giving to that person. Again, we are restricting the contact. And that is wisdom. And as I said, we are doing it. We're doing it all the time. We are not trapped in the five senses. We are not acting on the five senses alone. We never do. So to become aware of these things, of what it is we are doing, and really see the wisdom in it. Do see the wisdom in it and the absolute folly in just love, forgive, open yourself up, give them everything. It's nuts. Shouldn't do it. We're not doing it if we're wise. So, really, existence in a specific experience is necessarily the restriction of everything else. It has to be. So that's not imprisoning. That is just creating a space in which you can function. But now the expansion of our awareness, becoming aware of what it is we're doing, and then really shifting our awareness onto what we know through the feeling senses, through those other parts of ourselves. And that is being encouraged at the moment. Yeah? It's not like, I don't think it is that we are all of a sudden waking up and we are driving this thing. I don't think we're driving this thing at all. It was allowed. Yeah, that knowledge was allowed to spread. And I also think it is being directed to a certain point, to something that we should know in our state of expanded awareness. We're not being driven into a we're known all. I think we're being sheep-herded to a certain point of all that we shall then know that we don't know at the moment. Christians especially. Any kind of religion, really. To the knowledge of something that is not of this world, not within the range of what we know right now. It probably is here, but as I said, we blocked it out. We don't know it. We're not energetically connected to it. But we are being asked to make those connections, to seek them, connect to them, know them, and with that, bringing them to earth. That is the thing. We are bringing them into this reality through our knowing. And how's that going to work out? I mean, for Christians, once the veil rips, once you know the greater reality, I mean, you only know one other part of the greater reality, you're not knowing at all. Jesus was not going into all, he was going to a specific point, and the knowledge of a specific point, which you're all being shepherded to. But once you know that point in the veil rips, and you know the reality of what was there all the time, how's that going to work out? Yeah? Everybody's going to stand there singing glory, hallelujah. Actually, what the Bible says is that man's heart will fail them for fear, and looking upon those things that are coming on the earth, because the powers of heaven are shaken. Their hearts will fail them for fear, which makes me think they're not looking on something good. You know, once the veil rips. That is being taken into an expanded awareness that will then become a reality on earth, and then see what you have opened the gate to, what you have let into your reality that you had blocked out before. You had restricted your knowledge of what was out there. Unconsciously maybe, but you've done it. But we are being asked to open ourselves up, open the door, open the stargate, which is you, to let these things in. And as I said, through teachings most likely being directed to a specific point of something that we should know. And I really think, what is it we are doing? Now, at the same time, I think this knowledge can be extremely beneficial to humanity. I think it would be. But we really need to focus. We need to focus on what it is we want to do with this. Now, again, in this verse, this Bible verse, it says, the powers of heaven shall be shaken. What is that heaven? That heaven is earth. That is the reality, that is our heaven, that is the reality that we are in, that is increasingly being destroyed. Sorry, see, it's still there. And we know what we know in this reality through our connections to it. Yeah? And that is consciousness that is creating the whole of this world, which is mineral, vegetative, animal, man. Those that have come together, that are connected to one another to create this world, and blocking out everything that is not a part of this. That's what we've been doing. And that is how this world is created. It's not created by one. It's created by all that have their being in it. And that are cooperating with one another, because to keep this thing together. Only we're walking away from it. So our ties to one another, our ties to this world is creating the matrix that we're in. Our love for our children, our connection to our friends, our connection to nature. All those connections that create this world, that are creating this world. are being destroyed. We're being taken away from nature. We're being made afraid of one another. The family ties are being destroyed. Yeah? And here it is, if God calls you, something out there, it will take you away from your ties. So you're energetically more than anything else, disconnected. You might be still here in body, but you're disconnected from this place. And that's why so many, well, first of all, you feel it's no longer real. It's because you are no longer experiencing it in the fullness that you did before. Your experience is the flow of energy from one consciousness to another. If you disconnect from that, then it becomes less and less real. Okay. It's not saying that it isn't real, it's still there, it's just you're no longer connected to it. And once you're disconnected, because you're seeking a connection at that moment. You're feeling lost. It's a feeling of being lost, of being not knowing what you are. You are what you are because of the connections that you are in. They create you, you create them. So you no longer know who you are. And then you're being told, there's the point that you should connect to. There's the light. You were in the light, hopefully. And what is coming is not good. Well, not the biblical one anyway. And then really being told, trust. Trust God. Love God. Again, on the energy of love, all you can see is what is good. And again, you're filtering out the information that will come on all the other energies. Yeah? Oh no, you mustn't have any bad feelings about this because that will block the connection. Yes, bloody well it will, and it should block the connection. Trust your bad feelings. Let them bring your guards down. Disconnect. Don't do what you don't want to do. Don't go where you don't want to go. If your feelings tell you there is danger, then bloody well, it exists. It's real. Trust yourself. And know that you can connect and you can disconnect. And do it consciously. Not being driven into, oh, you should open yourself up to that, or you should disconnect from that. Somebody else tells you to do so. And you are following. Then you have no self-determination. So, I mean, this is really what we're being told at the moment is let your guard down. We should all let our guard down. The satanic forces, so to speak, that stop us from knowing what is out there, we should let all our guards down. And just let it in, indiscriminately. That's what Jesus said, isn't it? I am the door through which all can enter in. I am the way through which all can enter in. And that is not a good thing. It is not. And I was wondering what's happening in this world, because whilst we are being told to let our guard down indiscriminately, the Earth's magnetic field is coming down. Yeah, and I'm really thinking that has got something to do with what it is we are doing. Not having thought it through, not considered the effect, the consequences. And simply because we've been told that this is a prison. Your negative thoughts are restricting you. They're holding you down. They're holding you back. You must let go of them. That is letting your guard down. So, I mean, if this world is a teacher, which it is, we are together with a lot of other consciousnesses. It teaches us how to become a part of a balanced web correctly. That is really one thing that it teaches us. And another thing this world most certainly teaches you is survival. Yeah? And what are we being told at the moment? Oh, we should all get out of survival. Yeah? We cannot expand because we are in survival. What is survival? Survival is being aware of things that are not good for you and to steer clear of them to save your own life. And I tell you something, as in the physical, so above. Yeah? Everything that is not good for you in the physical has got an energy, and it's affecting you. It is happening on the energetic level before it even becomes a solid reality. So again, get out of survival. Forget about what? Why would you forget about survival? Why would you get out of it? It's nuts. So, at this moment in time, what are we actually operating in ourselves when we expand in awareness or we are less aware? It is operating our guards up and down. Close ourselves off or open ourselves up. And yes, we should absolutely be in full control of that. And we should be the ones deciding what it is we know. And right now, if we expand awareness, I would say we should concentrate on what we already know as physical. What is already a part of this world. Yeah? Because that is in the end what has truly sustained humanity for thousands of years. Nature, the whole of this world, this heaven, was our home in which we were sustained. So if we have a greater and deeper knowledge of something, we should have a knowledge of what is here around us already. And I think that knowledge would then serve us with the idea of being able to keep the balance better out of greater knowledge and not inadvertently being destructive because we don't know what we're doing. I think then it would serve humanity. Again, at the moment, that is not where our focus is being put. It would say, everybody, biblical, lift up your head and look to the heavens and wait for your salvation. Everybody's looking out there. All the focus is out there. And then you have these people going around, oh, we're waiting for the government to give us full disclosure. No, I think they're leading you toward full disclosure. I think they're doing that already. But the disclosure is going to happen in here. They can't give that to you. I don't think the governments can disclose what is out there. That has to happen within yourself. But yet they're definitely leading you to that knowledge. And then what? Once the guards are down, once all becomes revealed, Will our hearts fail us for fear and looking on the things that are coming on the earth? Because we opened the floodgates? Because we brought the defenses down that were there to save us? We are not in a prison. We're choosing to keep things out that are not good for us. I think intuitively we are doing that already. Then know what it is you're doing. Keep it out. It's out there for a reason. It shouldn't be here. Anyway, here folks, I leave it at that for today. And I talk to you again soon. Bye.